Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today I'm going to be unboxing 3 new Middle Eastern fragrances, including Afnan Zimaya Braveheart. So let's jump into it. Alright, so we are back with another unboxing first impressions video of 3 new Middle Eastern fragrances that I recently picked up as part of a larger haul from Fragrance Buy and Perfume Online. Links will be down in the description if you decide you want to check any of these fragrances out. Also some coupon codes. Save yourself $5 off your first purchase at both of those discounters if you decide you want to shop with them. So pretty excited about these. I got a Khadlaj, I got a Paris Corner, and I got that Afnan. So let's quit screwing around and let's get into it. All right, kicking things off, we're gonna go to the house of Khadlaj with Khadlaj Stellar Oud. Now I scooped this up for $18 at Fragrance Buy and don't know anything about this fragrance. I am familiar with Khadlaj. I've tried a few of their fragrances now and I was pretty impressed by those. So let's keep that trend going, shall we? And let's bust into this sucker. All right, there we have the box presentation for Khadlaj Stellar Oud. Pretty straightforward cardboard box. Does have kind of a little cutout insert here. That's how we're gonna open the box right there. But overall, just typical cardboard box. Let's see the bottle. All right, there we have the bottle presentation for Khadlaj Stellar Oud. This is quite the cap on this thing. Nice hefty bottle on this, but this cap is something else. Has a nice little bit of detail on the front, little kind of dot pattern, and I've never seen anything quite like it. It's even got a little bit of a pattern on the underside if I can get that, but interesting presentation. I do quite like this. It's kind of a sleek looking bottle. Cap on this does have a little bit of weight, and I'm gonna show you again. It's kind of a neat cap to that. And the atomizer on this bad boy. Ooh, that's a pressurized atomizer. I like it. Definitely get the job done. Bonus points for pressurized atomizers. But what does this smell like? So right off the jump, just smelling this in the air, a very salty, aquatic style of fragrance. Does remind me of something, but that's appreciate the atomizer again and get this on paper, see what we're dealing with. Yeah, right off the jump, a very salty marine style of opening, and it does have some nice citrus in there, so it has a nice kind of refreshing sort of touch going onto it with that kind of marine note going to it. But the salt in the air right now it's like, it tingles in my teeth. I can taste it so much. It's a very salty fragrance, but that citrus is a nice touch to it. It does kind of tone things down, and it gives it that freshness, that kind of energetic feel, and not weighing it too heavy with that saltiness to it. A little bit of a green touch here, so it's giving that vibe of like, kind of like washed up seaweed on the beach, a little bit of a dry wood sort of feel. So it has this kind of driftwood, maybe some like seaweed kind of draped over it, kind of baking in the sun with that salty accord, with that bit of citrus to it. A very marine style of fragrance, but it's definitely reminding me of something. I think I figured it out. It is reminding me a lot of this Maison Alhambra Megara, which is a twist clone of Eau de Parisia's Megamar. That's where I think they're going with this one for sure. I kind of like this one a little bit better. This one, I'm gonna have to compare the two, but the saltiness in this is very nice, balanced with that citrus, and I do like the greenness that's coming out in this. It's got that kind of seaweedy, algae, like I said, marine sort of vibe going on to it. I am enjoying this so far. So let's skip to the dry down, see how this develops, and we'll go from there. All right, back with the dry down of Khadlaj Stellar Oud. Been about an hour, let this settle down, do its own thing. Still maintain that same scent DNA, but there's this really nice kind of green, grassy, dry, almost smoky accord that's kind of come through in that base. Like a very nice moss, like dry woods style of vibe going on to it, but it still has that nice kind of marine saltiness that's working in there, and just a little pinch of sweetness just to balance it off so it's not overly dry, grassy, and salty. It has that little hint of sweetness that's in there, just to round things out quite nice. So I am enjoying this one quite a bit, actually. I kind of crapped on the Maison Alhambra Megara. There was something about that one that just didn't float my boat necessarily. I think I crapped on that one mostly because of the performance off of it, but this one I am enjoying. So I'm gonna have to get those two on skin side by side, do a comparison, and kind of dive back into that one a little bit more. But at this moment, I am enjoying this one. I'm gonna get this on skin, do a full review, see how it performs. And the atomizer on this is just, like for 17 bucks, like just for the atomizer alone, it was worth every penny. So definitely like this one. Gonna do a full review for you guys. That's Khadlaj Stellar Oud. All right, next up, going to the House of Paris Corner from their Pandora scents line, and it's Wayfarer. I scooped this up from Perfumes Online for $25, and just based off the box presentation, I'm pretty sure I know what this is trying to clone, but let's dig into it and find out. All right, so there we have the box presentation for Pandora Scents Wayfarer. Any guesses as to what this is cloning? Because the box, I didn't even notice this till just now. That's almost a bit of a dead giveaway what they're trying to clone here, but overall, pretty simple box presentation. Let's take a look at the bottle. All right, so there we have the bottle presentation for Paris Corner's Pandora Scents Wayfarer. This is a nice bottle. This has got a nice heft to it. It does have that kind of hollowed out bottom, which I do kind of enjoy. That's kind of a nice touch. I am a little surprised it didn't go for the full revolver top to it, but really nice bottle to this. It's a nice thick glass. I do like it, nice and sleek. Cap on this is a little lightweight. There's not too much metal in this. Majority of that is plastic, and the atomizer on this sucker, decent atomizer. It is kind of leaking a little bit, but overall, we'll get the job done. But what does this smell like? So right off the jump, just smelling this in the air. I'm getting cinnamon, I'm getting a little bit of mandarin, getting some spices, little hints of wood, tobacco. I'm pretty sure I know what this smells like, but let's get this on paper. Let's make sure. Yeah, so right off the jump, it has that nice warm cinnamon that's going on there, has that mandarin, giving it that sort of citrus style of sweetness that you get from a mandarin orange, mixing with that warm spiciness. Some spices in the mid. There's a touch of like some tobacco that's going on to this. This is definitely going after the Azzaro Wanted by Night DNA. This is exactly what's first thing I was reminded of. Even if I didn't see the box presentation, this is what they're trying to do. Yeah, nice balance of the sweetness, the spices, that warmth you get from Azzaro's Wanted by Night. Has that little touch of the tobacco that's in there. It's not as high quality as the Azzaro Wanted by Night. That is probably one of my top 10 favorite sort of cool weather fragrances in terms of the designer lines, is the Wanted by Night. So this is definitely a $25 version of it, but it's a good $25 version of it. You're definitely getting that vibe, but overall, pretty pleasant scent profile on this. Let's wait for the dry down, see how this turns out. All right, back with the dry down of Pandora Scents Wayfarer. Been an hour, let this settle down, do its own thing. Definitely has that Azzaro Wanted by Night style of dry down. Nice level of sweetness to it, has that warm spiciness that's there. It does lack the kind of wood tobacco sort of vibe that goes on to it. Just a little on the weak side when it comes to that. It's not as Azzaro Wanted by Night as I would have hoped it to be, but again, for 25 bucks, this is definitely getting you really close in that neighborhood. I'm gonna have to test this out on skin, get both of them side by side, and really kind of dig in to see where this is falling a little bit short, but it is falling a little bit short, but again, I'm not all that surprised, but it is definitely giving you that vibe. It's definitely gonna get you that Azzaro Wanted by Night style of feel. So gonna do a full review on this one, really sink my teeth into it, see how it compares. Is it worth it in terms of spending the $25? We will wait and see. So gonna do a full review, you guys. Get back to you on that one. That's Pandora Scents Wayfarer. All right, last and hopefully not least, we have Afnan's Zimaya Braveheart. Now I scooped this up for $18 at Fragrance Buy and haven't heard a single thing about this one. I haven't heard anyone talk about this. Can't find much about it online, but just based off of the box presentation, I think I know what they're gonna be going for here, but let's find out, shall we? All right, so there we have the box presentation for Afnan's Zimaya Braveheart. This is actually a really nice box presentation, and if you can see the leopard, that's a leopard, that's a leopard, sitting up front. This really looks like Memo's African leather, so we'll find out soon. But it is one of these bad boys that kind of opens up like so, revealing our bottle, sits in a nice little foam podium there. So 18 bucks, this is a pretty good presentation so far. Bottle, nice thick heavy glass on it. That is a nice kind of like metal plaque on the front there. So really nice bottle presentation, really nice box presentation, and the cap on this is actually a heavy metal too. I'm impressed. I'm impressed for an $18 fragrance. This is no cheapy plastics, nothing. They went all out on this one. And the atomizer on this, also very nice. Will definitely get the job done. But what does this smell like? So right out the gate, just smelling this in the air, this is a beautiful fragrance. Really nice spices. It has a little bit of touch of sweetness that's in there, a bit like some vanilla style of sweetness, kind of soft vanilla, and leather coming forward right away, but really nice in the air right now. This is a beautiful leathery style of fragrance. Admittedly, I have not tried the Memo African leather, So I can't say for sure. I'm just basing it off of just the presentation off this, and that's all I know. But let's get this on paper, dig into it, see what we're dealing with. Really nice spices in this opening. There's like cardamom coming through, some black pepper, a little bit of a tart citrus that's moving its way through, a bergamot perhaps, and that leather accord that's coming through. But it's mostly the spices right now. The leather is there. It's playing with those spices right now. Very, very nice. Nice dry woods are starting to develop in this. It has a hint of cedar in there, kind of a spicy, dry style of cedar, and just an overall kind of dry, woody accord that's working with that leather, with those spices. The leather it's not like a fancy style of leather, but it's not quite like a cowboy leather either. It's hard to put my finger on it exactly this moment, but those spices, those woods, that leather note, and that little hint of that vanilla sweetness is starting to come through. This is really nice. Little touches of green aromatics starting to come through, mixing with those spices, kind of elevating those spices, so it's got a bit of a lightness to it. Could be that cedar too, that has a kind of a light, airy style of cedar that's moving its way through. But overall, this is all kind of coming together very nice. The spices, that little touch of citrus, that sweetness that's coming through, and the leather that's moving forward more and more as this develops. Very nice opening. It's a unique style of leather. This isn't kind of a generic style of leather that you get from a lot of fragrances. This has a little bit of character to it, so I am enjoying this quite a bit, but let's wait for this to dry down, see how it develops, and we'll go from there. All right, back with the dry down of Afnan's Zimaya Braveheart. Been about an hour, let this settle down, do its own thing. This is a really nice leather fragrance. The leathers come forward a little bit more, but all those other scent accords have really kind of fused in and are dancing really nice alongside this leather note. So still has that little bit of spice, the black pepper is there. Cardamom's fallen back a little bit, but it's still there, has a little hint of that sweetness. The clary sage that's mixing in here, it's like a sweet, herbaceous style of sweetness that's working its way through, with that little touch of vanilla, but the woods in this are very nice. There's like a nice kind of airy, light, spicy style of cedar and this nice smooth sandalwood. So the cedar and the sandalwood are just a nice smooth woody combo that are pairing up with that leather and smoothing that leather out at the same time with those spices, that little touch of sweetness. Beautiful, beautiful leather fragrance right now. Oh, can't stop smelling the paper. I am enjoying this one. I can't wait to get this one on skin for 18 bucks. This is a great pickup, pending performance. I think this is going to be one of my new fall favorites when it comes to leather fragrances, but I'll have to get back to you guys. I'm gonna do a full review on this one for sure and let you all know what I think. We'll go from there. That's Afnan's Zimaya Braveheart. All right, so there you have it. That's 3 new Middle Eastern fragrance clones, my unboxing and first impressions of those fragrances. Went 3 for 3 on this one. Pretty stoked on all 3 of them, especially that Zimaya Braveheart, really nice leather fragrance, but the other 2 were quite enjoyable. So it's always good to go 3 for 3, especially for the price point. What was it? Between $17 and $25 for these fragrances. So I think I got my money's worth. For sure gonna be doing some full reviews for you guys, but I wanna hear from you guys. What are some other Middle Eastern fragrance clones that you'd like to hear me unbox and do a first impressions of? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, taste and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.